Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my second video. This evening, I want to discuss about the spiritual practice I have been doing for about 1.5 years. This spiritual practice has been introduced to me by one of my past mentors, John McIntosh, which was passed down from Sri Ramana Maharshi. It's an East Indian mystic that introduced this practice to the world. And it implies that you observe your thoughts and emotions that arise within your own mind. And did you ask a question in such a way that you don't expect an answer from that question? So I'll give you an example. Who am I? This was a common question that Sri Ramana Maharshi was teaching others to repeat to themselves. When you say, who am I? You just wait quietly in a meditative state. Just observe how your thoughts arise within your own mind, but don't attach to your thoughts. After a certain amount of time, you'll find that it starts to get quieter inside. I mean, the thoughts still come, but there's a bit more spaciousness between your thoughts. So basically, it will feel like you're actually stepping back, becoming more of a witness to your mind. I also was taught by John McIntosh this a certain kind of way of doing self-inquiry. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're feeling angry inside. You're feeling that emotion of anger come up. Okay, then you say to yourself, who is it that is feeling angry? So you'd sense that pause within your own body and within your own mind. You don't expect an answer to that, but just watch yourself from the inside out. Observe yourself. It's almost like you revert your attention back to the inner spaciousness of your body and your mind. And then you say, me. Me referring to the small ego. So saying me kind of puts a spotlight on that little ego inside you. The ego is defined as that little sense of the contracted sense of self that resides within you. So it's that part of you that is identified with an I. And then you say, who am I? Sometimes when I use that self-inquiry formula throughout the day, I feel like a layer of conditioning is lifted off my psyche. Usually the symptom that I feel is I start to breathe deeply. I inhale and exhale. Then I know that layer of that ego has been lifted, that sense of I. Okay, well, let's use another example. How about, who is it that is feeling sad? Okay, so after you say that, you feel that sadness within you, and you ask yourself, who is it that's feeling sadness? You keep that statement short because you don't want to create a story in your own mind by saying, who is it that is sad about the forest being clear-cutted around the world? That could cause sadness by attaching yourself to a mental story. Unfortunately, it's actually really happening. But it's more beneficial not to get into a long story about it by asking that question. So basically, you say, who is feeling sadness? Then right away you go to me. Who am I? And then you'll feel something lift off you, and you'll feel a deepening of stillness and silence within yourself. That's the qualities of being detached from your mind and thinking. So you keep practicing that throughout the day. And I've been doing it for about 1.5 years. And it's really changed my life. Like, I feel a lot more at peace. I feel a deeper stillness within myself. I feel presence radiating out of my form that I reside in. I know of myself as presence. Life is getting more simpler for me. I don't worry as much about anything. I'm more confident in speaking up, speaking my truth, loving life as it is, feeling more joy in everything. But you have to keep going. And the more you do self-inquiry, the more the layers of conditioning slip off your psyche, and the more you'll feel that expansion of your heart awakening to a larger space within yourself, more spaciousness, more detachment from drama. You'll actually be more aware of how your mind works. You'll be able to surrender to this moment and feel that divinity within everything. So I've been practicing different spiritual practices for a long time, but I found that self-inquiry removes layers of conditioning and karma. It like just burns off the karma right off you, and it just slips off really quick. It's so simple. It's almost ridiculously, profoundly simple. I'm sharing with you this simple formula. A few people are going to listen to this video and really get it and practice this, and we'll see amazing results. most will just go over their heads and continue with their life, doing whatever you're doing, and you'll never see the tremendous value of this simple formula of self-inquiry. I've also learned a different way of self-inquiry from another mentor and teacher of mine. His name is Vershant. He's from Australia. I've done some of online satsangs with him. And he's used self-inquiry in the form of who's aware. So every time a thought came up, a random thought came up, he would say who's aware or what's aware. He would repeat that throughout the day, being aware of the thoughts that are emerging within him. And he says he would never allow his mind to entertain him. And then he kept practicing self-inquiry until his sense of I dissolved completely. And he realized his oneness with Source. So, listen to me, you have a choice. Do you want to suffer and be identified with the suffering in your mind and identified with your emotions? Believe that you are just a human being? Yeah, of course, we're in a human body. We have emotions rising within ourselves like waves in the ocean. And we have thoughts coming and going constantly. We can't control our thoughts. We can't get rid of them. But we can ask ourselves in such a way, use our mind for a more noble and higher pursuit to cancel the mind. That's what self-inquiry does. You use your mind to cancel the mind. So then that the mind actually surrenders to the truth of your being, and you can use it for more creative pursuits and higher type of thinking when you need to. If you don't need to use your mind, then you just leave it alone and continue with the self-inquiry and see what happens. At this stage, after doing self-inquiry for about 1.5 years, I can feel a greater spaciousness within myself. And also, my thinking is becoming a lot more clearer if I need to think about anything in a practical way. But other than that, I spend my time not identified to my thinking. Just sensing myself as presence. And it's been changing my physicality a lot lately. Feeling more space in my heart. All my chakras are opening up, or energy centers. Feeling more at peace, more joyful. And it's easier to connect with others because I'm starting to sense the presence within others. No, I wouldn't say I've realized everything as one, but I definitely can sense more and more of that spaciousness within everything. It's almost like there's a growing, blending, merging with everything happening very gradually. So there's like a dismantling of the old identity. So I encourage you to at least give it a try, see what happens. So the formula is, who is it that feels blank? Or you can say to whom these thoughts are arising. So if it's a thought pattern, you say to whom these thoughts are arising. Or who is it that is feeling blank, angry, sad, even happy, joyful. It doesn't matter what the emotion that arises. If that's an emotion, then you say, me, who am I? See, that's a barometer for myself that something is being let go of, is dissolving within myself, is that breath. There's a lot of other spiritual techniques out there that actually use different types of breathing to let go and of old patterns, beliefs. But what here I'm sharing with you is self-inquiry. Or you can use who's aware or what's aware. Or you can say to yourself, like Adyashanti used to teach, what's going on over here? What's really here underneath the anger or the sadness? And you pause. The trick is to just keep still. Don't get into thinking and just stay between the thoughts in that spaciousness, in that quiet. You gotta really learn to just be quiet. Thank you for listening. I had a desire to talk about this for a while, and I've kind of held back, and I've had to self-inquire, who is it that is holding back? Who is it that feels hesitant? Who is it feels worry? Who is it that is afraid to speak? So I had to break it down, all those blockages, in order just to get to the point, in order to just speak my truth, online and offline. It's given me a lot of inner strength to stand up to others who are expressing from a egoic sense of their being. And they're stepping over boundaries and projecting harsh energies. And it's awakened compassion for them and for myself and for the world. That's what happens when you do self-inquiry. Over time, you'll see what I'm talking about. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe below. And I'll be excited to share more of this kind of nature of subjects in the immediate future. So much love to you. and blessings of love and light. Take care. Be gentle to yourself. And much peace. Thank you for listening.